The NASCAR finale is here. Let's have a talk about the Championship 4. Let's talk about the top 3 series and what's going to be going on in terms of the playoff picture going into Phoenix. And we'll start off with Cup. It is a 2-2 shootout. The 19 and the 11 of Joe Gibbs Racing versus the 24 and the 5 of Team Hendrick. William Byron was a regular season points leader, and actually he has the most laps led on the year on 1,278. However, he only has 3 wins to all of that, and has the lowest top 5s at 11, and the lowest top 10s at 16. He did end up picking up quite a lot of playoff points for the regular season championship, but he ended up with 2 long streaks without a win. One of them was right at the start of the season because he won the Daytona 500. Then he won again in Iowa, and then he's only just won again in Martinsville. Recent form has not been shown in the results, with a non-finish in Vegas after crashing into a braking Ty Dillon, who was just slowing on the oval to get onto pit road, and Talladega getting turned across the line. Something similar for Kyle Larson, 3 wins on the season himself, but no wins in the postseason. He did get second in Vegas, but he ran out of fuel the last lap at Dega. His 3 wins came early: Homestead, Bristol for the spring, and Kansas. He can do well, and he is the only champion in this berth, albeit it was 2021, it was still the Gen 6 cars. He could still do it again. He definitely could. And if he does, he has the ability to try to claim to be the best driver in the world again. He's led a few less laps than Byron at 1,106, but the only one in the Cup Final 4 who has led more than 1,000 laps. After that is Chase Briscoe with 881, and Briscoe also has 3 wins on the year. He also has more top 5s than Larson's 14 at 15, but less top 10s, 19 to Larson's 21. He does also have more DNFs though, with Larson having the least DNFs of the season at 2. The other 3 all have 4. For Briscoe, he won at Dega. He won the Southern 500 to open the playoffs, and he won at Pocono. He's had rapid pace when it comes to qualifying. He's been one of the best qualifiers in Cup this season, and it is his first year with JGR, bearing in mind that he came across from Stewart Haas Racing. So if somebody has the underdog status, it is Briscoe. But Briscoe has also won in the next gen at Phoenix. For Stewart Haas, yes. But he has the ability to run well. And if we have a look at Phoenix in the spring, yeah, he got 35th. But that's not telling of his form or his performance. But the person who had the best in the spring was Denny Hamlin. He got 2nd. Denny Hamlin has also won 6 times in the year, double any of the others in the Championship 4. His most recent win was Vegas. That's how he got himself into the Championship 4, which was good for him because he has just laid back a bit at Dega, got caught up with a couple of bits and pieces. He was 24th, and then his engine blew at Martinsville, much like with Chase Briscoe. But Hamlin's won twice in the playoffs, much like Chase Briscoe, but he won 4 times in the regular season. He also missed the Mexico City race, remember, for the birth of his child. So he won in Dover, he won in Michigan, he won in Darlington in the spring, the throwback weekend, and he won the spring Martinsville date. I put Denny Hamlin as my pick to win the championship in the start of the playoffs. I ended up getting half of my Final 4 wrong because I thought that, for instance, Blaney would make it. I thought Christopher Bell might make it. But I got Byron right and I got Hamlin right, so I'm sticking to my guns. I think Denny Hamlin will still be the Cup Series champion. I think he will beat your favourite driver, as he likes to say. Xfinity, for the final time we're going to call it the Xfinity Series, remember it goes to O'Reilly Auto Parts next year, is a 4-way Chevrolet fight. Now, you might have noticed that I didn't mention Fords because there are no Fords in the Cup Series. There's no other manufacturer but the Bowtie in the Xfinity playoff final. There is one who is a JRM. That is the person who comes in at the lowest on the seeding, though they are all on the same points. That's Jesse Love. Jesse Love has ended up with 1 win on the year It was a season opener in Daytona. But he managed to have the consistency to get through to the Final Four. After that, you have the reigning champion, Allgaier, who won 3 times in the regular season, and ended up with 2 third places in Vegas and Dega on his way to the Championship 4 berth. But the 2 who are sat above them are rookies. Carson Kvapil has not won yet in Xfinity, but that's not stopped people before from going on to achieve great things in the Xfinity series. The rookie could get his first win in Xfinity and get the championship, or he could even win the championship without winning a race, which, when you're looking at the person who people will probably say is the favourite, that's even more impressive. Because the favourite has got to be Connor Zilisch. He's in his rookie season in any of the top 3 NASCAR series, and he will be going to Cup next year regardless with Trackhouse. He won in COTA. He won in Pocono, Sonoma, Dover, Indy, the Glen, Daytona, Portland, Gateway, and the Roval. He missed a race in Texas due to injury sustained in Talladega. He didn't end up missing, technically, the Daytona race because Parker Kligerman took over and carried it to another win. But when you look outside of those performances he's had, yeah, he's had like 34th in Atlanta caught in a wreck, Daytona 27th, Dega in the full 23rd, and a 28th in the Spring Martinsville date. But let me read you the run that he had between Charlotte, Coke 600 weekend, and Vegas. 2nd in Charlotte, 2nd in Nashville, 5th in Mexico City, the win in Pocono, 4th in Atlanta, 2nd on the Chicago Streets course, wins in Sonoma, wins in Dover, wins in Indy, 3 in a row. Iowa 4th, the Glen a win, Daytona a win, Portland a win, Gateway a win. That is 4 in a row there. 5th in Bristol, 2nd in Kansas, winning the Roval, and 2nd in Vegas. And then 23rd in Dega. He has a record for the most wins in a year. He has the record for the most consistent top 5s, I think, across NASCAR's top 3 series as well. It's amazing. He has got to be the favourite. If you looked at Phoenix in the spring, you'd go, okay, maybe Allgaier. Jesse Love is the proper underdog here because he's RCR. The rest of them are JRM. So don't be surprised if it's a JRM win, even if it's not Zilisch. As for trucks, well, only 2 of the drivers in the Championship 4 have won races this season, which is absolutely wild. It's also wild that out of the top 3 series, this is the only one where you see all 3 manufacturers represented. You've got 2 Toyotas, Hyman Honeycutt. You've got a Ford in Majeski and a Chevy in Ankrum. And across them, you have so many different records. Again, Heim in terms of the wins that he's picked up and the runs that he's had as well. His 2 worst finishes of the year are 23rd, Atlanta and Pocono. After that, it's an 18th in Michigan and a 17th when it comes to North Wilkesboro. Those are his worst finishes. He has, what? That's 4 finishes outside of the top 15 on the year. 2 of them outside the top 20. That's his worst finishes. He won in Daytona, he won in Vegas, he won in Texas, he won in Charlotte, he won at Lime Rock Park, he won at the Glen, he won in Richmond, Darlington, New Hampshire, the Rover, and then in Martinsville. The worst finish that he's had so far in the playoffs is 3rd in Bristol, and even then he was still the top one out of the Championship 4 runners. Every single weekend in the playoffs, he's beaten everyone else who's gone into the Championship 4. In fact, that's been the tune for most of the season when it comes to Corey Heim, who had an impressive run in his Cup Series starts as well. This kid is destined for great things in Cup. When you look at the fact that Honeycutt hasn't won, Majeski hasn't won, and both of them are seen as quite good drivers as well. Tyler Ankrum has won as well at Rockingham, which is probably, outside of Phoenix, the closest you get to a Phoenix, but still, I don't know. It feels a bit like with picking Zilisch for Xfinity, like it's a bit of a slam dunk picking Heim. And it's by no means a disrespect to the other drivers who've made it to the championship before. But Heim's a man on a mission. It's up to them to try and stop him. Either way though, folks, those are my thoughts and feelings. Let me know yours in the comment section down below. Who are your favourites for the championship weekend in Phoenix? Let me know. And I hope to see you on Sunday when I'm going to get a reaction out once all is said and done. Until next time, it's bye for now.